And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to Minecraft New. Hey, hey, hey. I just need to go over here and select our streamerino. There we go. Sometimes it automatically picks the stream, other times it doesn't. I don't know why. There were like two other stream things that, like, they're not running, but they're there. There's like Coolshows101 is live and like something else, and they're just like very much so default. Also, there's that copper. Cool. Well, alright. Also, why does that look like it's on fire? Oh, that's the glowstone lamp. I really need to straighten that up with some... Where's my boat? Bro. Just not cool. Well, at least nothing blew up because he was in the water. Is it in my inventory? Not seeing it in my inventory. Also, I did not mean to go down that low. Please tell me that's not a bogged... Hold on. What am I seeing over there? My spyglass, please? Okay, there's some sand through some leaves. Interesting. I know I went out over this way. Oh, there's who shot at me. We got a chicken in the water there. Pretty sure I would have boated back, though. Huh. Interesting. I'm just noticing there's now little gray bits that look like there could be stone pieces or like pebbles inside of the dirt. Huh. Well, I'm not seeing my boat. I don't know where it is. Darn, I just thought of what I could have put for title. I could have added a thing. Also sugarcane, but we don't need that anymore. But I could have added a thing that said testing the chunk loader. Because that's really what we're gonna be like doing. So unless, oh wait, would the boat be over here? Yes, okay, my boat is over there, so... Actually, I can wait a moment for you that. We need to go down... if there's any redstone, I'll take it. That'll make it very easy to see what we have and haven't gathered. I think chicken does a fourth. Alright. Wait, why am I said it does a fourth. We can also stand by the machine, check and make sure it's working. If it doesn't work because we like left and loaded, I'm gonna be annoyed at that, and I'll have to do some research. Because there was some other stuff where like this contraption wasn't working. But that's clearly still running. go. So I'm going to do a quick search. Nether portal chunk loader stops working after reloading world. So it looks like you have to... Here we go. So another portal chunk loader. They're in... The minecart or item entity triggering the portal gets stuck, unloaded, or desynchronized from the portal during the shutdown process. Lazy chunk, redesign it to be more... Whatever. I don't trust this AI thing. Here's a GitHub thing. Put the Imagine Shulker farm. Another portal's chunk loading the farm. The smooth world setting seems to have a problem. So that's about... I'm gonna check this server restart thing out. I have an issue with portal-based chunk loaders. They stop working when the server restart. Some are fixing themselves when the player loads back up the chunk they are built in, but the issue still stands if you have a daily server restart or a server crash. The portal chunk loaders. Maybe they don't work single player then. Loaders in the same chunk, and it seems to restart automatically without having the chunks player loaded, that is. In a single player, when leaving and re-entering the world, I've yet to find a time it failed. So we might need to use more of these. notice because I was reading. Let's go up to a safe spot here while I do just a bit more reading. Oh, only does 3. Okay, it's the other meat that does 4. Okay, so where that could possibly load that junk again. If the spawn chunks are the reason the portals are reloading, I will take down this post. Test with mini HUD. There is a render called render spawn chunks or something like that, I assume. Since it's been 2 weeks that you were just too close to the spawn chunks. That's a shame, got excited for a minute there. Chunk loaders that automatically restart. Or post got me thinking, is there maybe a way to create a chunk loading ticket the exact moment the world is saved, so it will be saved with the game files, or maybe another way to remote chunk load. Maybe some smart code digger could explain if maybe possible or why it's not possible. By the way, your discovery for remote chunk loading, but not practical at all. Could work if you created a chain of chunk loaders starting from the spawn chunks, so that the spawn chunks would load the chunk loader, which would load the next chunk loader and the next eventually loading the chunk that you wanted to load. I'm going to check one last thing, and then we'll go do some stuff and see if this design is even just working now. How to chain chunk loaders from spawn chunks Minecraft. How to chain chunk loaders from spawn chunks in Minecraft. It still says change, CHAIN. Current issue with chunk loaders is that they need to be manually loaded every time you relog. Answered my question. However, the spawn chunks are permanently loaded. So here's the thought I just had. Would it be possible to chain chunk loaders from the spawn chunks to make a place that's not in the spawn chunks automatically load when you enter the game? Ideally should allow for only temporarily pulsing the chunk loaders until you reach the desired destination, which would have a permanent one. Otherwise, you'd be loading way more chunks than necessary the entire time. I don't know if my idea is understandable. Yes, that's possible, in my opinion, even though I haven't done it yet. But each chunk loader can activate only the neighboring chunks, so you need 10 chunk loaders for 160 blocks. Better to activate a chunk loader in the nether and chain there at 8x the range, running all but the target chunk loader on a short pulse extender will deactivate the ones that you don't need. So you'd have to activate it in the nether. Since it lacks spawn chunks, you can chunk load the nether from the overworld spawn chunks to create nether spawn chunks. Chunk loaders, the ones everyone uses, already load both the nether and overworld. Just begin the chain in the overworld. True. They sent a YouTube video. I'm just going to peek at this quickly. Automatically pulses when you need a reload in your world. When you restart your server and you have some forms or mob switch that you're running on a chunk loader and you're too lazy to fly there and turn it on yourself, to automatically load. frostwalker boots, and you have some water source. You have a wall here with an observer. And so when you reload the world, it will form an ice here, and will trigger the observer, and the sticky piston will... by the way, this is by Scorpio03. Will trigger this dispenser, which has a minecart inside. So the minecart will go in here, go to the portal. Here we have something like a chunk loader. Mango, a little up here. Gets broken by the cactus to this hopper. And when it goes through here, the detector rail will be activated, shutting off the thing. After a while, it will blink up again, and there will be a minecart going back out. And here, when the minecart becomes an island, and the comparator will take output from the hopper because it could read. So we'll get an output, thus powering this dust. And so the redstone dust goes to a little dispenser with a minecart inside. Here is another, but this is a dropper. And here we have something. All this rail is not... Okay, so... because I like this color. So you could have another rack. Goes in, and then it will burn. Come out as an island through the portal again. Gets sucked by this hopper minecart. Simple, you just have to... Okay, I don't know if this needs to be chained. I'll have to watch it later. This is made from 2 years ago. Okay, I'm just gonna speed through just a little bit more. Okay, so you're using minecart chunk loaders, and you're essentially chaining them. One last thing. How many chunks can a Minecraft chunk loader load? Oh, thankfully there's a not AI thing. Another portal, how many chunks does it load on the other side? Is it one? It loads 9 chunks around, or it loads 9 chunks as entity processing in a 3x3 square centered around the chunk the portal is in. Around this is a ring of chunks making up a 5x5 square that do not process entities but process most other aspects of the game. Redstone. These are often referred to as lazy chunks. Ah, so the AI was right. There is another ring outside that in a 7x7 square known as border chunks, but these do not process much, at least not much that is useful. Mobs count towards mob caps with any of these regions. Iron farm within that 3x3 radius, it will always work. The chunk the portal block the entity arrived through is in, and 1 chunk every direction, including diagonally, are fully loaded. 1 more chunk every direction are partially loaded. So redstone and hopper chains can work through them. So I'm curious, though, if redstone and hopper chains... Oh, but wait. No, because they work out to a certain point. So the first is the... And then the next one is the lazy chunks. And they'll work... Okay, so... Seems like we're just extending the redstone signal out to said lazy chunks. Also, already turning night again. So we should go up here and sleep again. And stars are just barely showing. That means we can finally sleep. And this means no monsters, except in our chunk loader. Or, except in our spawner, sorry. Our farm. And if we hurry down, maybe we see a witch get pushed off. Oh, it triggered already, too late. At least I think it triggered. 20 redstone. Yeah! Alright. Well, at least we know the chunk loader will be loaded while we're here, and we'll have to figure out loading to it, which is a bit annoying. Oh. Probably too late to see it happen, but no redstone. Okay. Alright, well, let's get up and let's go somewhere else and do something, and then we'll come back and check and verify that this design is at least working while we're logged in. You know what? Let's also... Symmetry. I wonder what would happen, though, if you had more than one item in there. And so there would, like, constantly be an item going on both sides. Ooh, I'm just noticing how that one side extends down pretty deep, and that looks cool. So at least this chunk loader can, like, it could still be working when we log off if we do some setup. It's not a thing where... Is that... Yep, that's squid. It's not a thing where it has to be loaded with an ender pearl every single time. Which is more expensive because, you know, the pearl goes bye-bye when you log off. Alright. Keep myself protected from them piggies. Right, and down is over here. Alright, so let's go... You know what? I forget what was right through here. I kind of remember it, but I want to take a peek. Take a peek and see. Ow. Right, so that has the Crimson Forest. So beautiful. Whoever thought of making a red forest, the crimson color forest? Good on you, mate. Probably me getting rid of extra blocks. For some reason that looked a little bit like a structure over there, but it's not. Just more netherrack. Well, let's leave before we fall into the lava, permanently lose our stuff. And if, you know, if we did do that, that's a case where I would probably say, yeah, it's gone, because I mess up. But like, if I just don't get back to it in time, that's what I have the backups for, then, you know, I can try again. Alright, part of me wants to kind of explore out through this portal here, this area, and like, not, well, like revisit areas we haven't been to in a while. Actually, you know what? Yes, we are gonna go to one place. I think I've gotten all of the redstone from said place. But we can find out. Alright, we would need to go also have anvil here, don't I? I don't. Okay, well, I know there's an anvil in here. So nice that you can do bundle and bundle. Oh, 15. Yeah, we need to, also, is that? Yes, that's coal. Coal and these are tradable. So, you know, I'm not going to take it with me, but I will drop them off in here. Should put those somewhere in the nether. Here, we'll put you there. Okay. Why are there no boats out here? Well, that's why we have this chest. So we keep enough in here that we'll always have one. Alright, whoops, I forgot to also swap out my map, so we don't need... Well, okay, so... Oh, wait. Also... Wait. Is it based on how much stuff is in each bundle? Alright, so we have a tiny bundle. That goes to 4 pixels from the right. Okay, so it is based on the number of stuff in the bundle. So I kind of sort of accept that. You can't cheese bundles. It gives you a reason to get shulkers. It probably also might have something to do with like entity inside of entity, but I still maintain my use of this because it makes it more organized. I know that my stuff to build a map and repair my items is inside of that thing. And then... Oh, hi. Everything else is not. Alright, let's, where's the sun? Yeah. Oh. Okay, yeah, I say we go back in and get to sleep before we go. So we can, however, grab our maparinos that we need. So, west one. Did I spell? No, I spelled home wrong. Or no, sorry, I spelled it right. So we are east. So I think we need just east one. Sleep in my orange bed here, which... I wonder why I made an orange bed. It's better than a white bed. I'm surprised I didn't go for red. And that actually is a really nice shade of orange. But, like, just curious. Wait, is my... Oh, wait. Where is it? Oh, yeah, my house is orange here. Which it's supposed to be red. I need to actually... You know what? I need to really start on that and do that. If only red spider eyes can make red dye. Or if apples can make red dye, but their skins aren't that, like, their skins are red. Oh, we're good. Oh, I left the cobble at the top, okay. Alright, we dye that up. Ooh, actually, you know what? This will be... I was thinking, like, but then I won't have my wool inside of here. Which, wait, do I not have wool inside of... Nah. I don't have wool inside of any of my chesterinos. And I've got 2 wool in here. That's food, as it should be. And I'm pretty sure there's no wool in here, but double check. There's not. Well, we will make it a plan to get some wool while we are out. We got 2, so, you know. And I'm pretty sure I had some shears on me. Yes. So yeah, we shall get some wool while we are out. Man, I should have thought, imagine if you were like, I'm really lazy. Horse, need to get me to my boat. The work to get on the horse would be even more than that. Unless you're like, here, horse, I'm lazy. I'm gonna grab onto your tail, and you're gonna jump us over the fence, probably smack me around in the process, and then hope I don't end up with a concussion when getting to my boat. Alrighty then, so that means we need to head down this way. Because I'm going for my jungle home. Which, I'm thinking at some point then, we should probably establish a dock that would be near the jungle home. But it looks like we would want to take, instead of going straight down... Ah, praying and reading. Okay, so, Alright. So we need to go straight and up past the village. And then down. Well, alrighty then. So, I just noticed something weird. My computer has the wrong time. That is concerning, especially since there was a period where my Windows XP computer had the wrong time, and so I was on the wrong time for going to stuff and things. But I also remember like the time on the sign outside of the high school where I only took seminary and driver's ed from. I remember that also being wrong too. But then one of my friends was like, "Hey, Caleb, come to class, seminary." And I walked in having no idea that I was like late or whatever. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna stop here so I can fix this clock thing, and then I'm gonna go read with my parents, and I'll come back in just a little bit and do a tiny bit more for the night. But we'll see you guys in whatever's next.